Okay, so one of the experience that I had, I find that it's helpful when I share some stories of my own manifestation in order to help it make sense. You know, stories really do, they've been used over the ages in order to teach and to shed light. Jesus used parables, you know, like it's part of culture. So let me share a story with you that maybe will help give you some insight into manifestation and how it works. And you can maybe apply some of the things that I did in order to help yourself. So I discussed before, we have to know what we want. You have to make a decision. Sometimes we're just afraid to make a decision because we're afraid we're not going to get it. We don't want to be disappointed. That's okay. You can get over that. The more you study, the more you learn, the more you become aware of the power that you truly have. And you can become a lot more confident in manifesting that which you desire. And it might just take maybe starting out smaller at first in order to help you build up some belief in this. So I manifested $100,000 in a month. And what I did was I first decided I wanted to manifest $100,000. So I made the decision. I wrote it down and I put it on a goal card. I looked at it and I spent some time daydreaming about it. You know, I thought, wow, I had $100,000. You know, and kind of an unexpected extra 100,000. What would I do with it? And I would buy this. And, it would feel so great. And I would do this thing. I would pay off that bill. Or, you know, I just spent some time imagining and feeling what it would feel like in order to have that. You know, I even wrote it down and I made it my focus. Like I spent time, even just little periods of time throughout the day, just sitting and feeling the feeling of it happening, feeling the goal already achieved. And I had no idea. Like I have my own businesses running. They are not producing $100,000 a month. And so in my mind, I had no clue how I was going to do it. Like I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan to take to, I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to sell this much stuff or I'm going to go and build this other business. There was no plan. There was just the decision on what I wanted and then spending the time feeling it already done, what it would feel like. And being specific, I was specific on what I wanted. And then it kind of came out of nowhere. So sometimes we go into thinking one way or another, like if I decide on something I want and I don't know, I have this $1 million home that I want and I'm currently living in, I'm renting or whatever. And we sort of just think we're going to just win the lottery and get the house. So there's that extreme where it's just going to just land in our lap. Then there's the other extreme where we just think we have to work and grind and everything is a struggle. And if I'm going to make $1 million, like I'm going to be working 20 hours a day and I'm going to have to suffer and all this kind of stuff. So we can kind of go one way where we lack action and we lack taking movement forward. And we just kind of are waiting for something just to kind of happen to us and make all our dreams come true without us doing anything. And then there's the other extreme where it's all just about us really struggling and we are the ones that make it all happen. So there's kind of a little bit of an in-between, closer to it happening for us, but it still requires action to a certain degree for us in order to allow those things to come into our life. The action can be quite small and it doesn't have to be sometimes as so big and drastic as we might think, but there has to be some kind of movement. So what had happened was about a year previous, I had received, it was a call center call they were asking if I was open to investments and if I had at least $1,000 that I might be interested in investing into something that would get me a really good return. Most of the time I would hang up on those kind of calls and I would ignore it. And I would just say, oh, it's whatever, it's some kind of scam. But back then I was like, I'm wanting to create multiple sources of income. I'm wanting to learn about building wealth. So I was keeping myself open to learning and to hearing different stuff. Just because I would hear them out on it didn't mean I'd have to take action, but at least I might learn something and it could lead to something else. So I said, okay. So then I got on the phone call with Tony, who is my now diamond dealer in Toronto. And he explained to me this whole world of colored diamonds that I had no idea about. And so that week I invested $1,000 in pink diamonds. I bought this tiny little diamond and he mailed it to me and everything. And that was kind of the beginning of how I got into colored diamonds. So then what happened is when I had, about a year later, had said, I want to manifest $100,000, I was maybe holding $10,000 of diamonds at that point. And then what happened is Tony called me and said, we have an opportunity here. There is a dealer who, he's the largest yellow diamond owner in the world. He wants to be the largest pink diamond owner. And so he was offering a premium price for anyone who would be willing to fill the order all in one go. So my dealer and a couple of others got together and were working with all their clients to come up and buy enough pink diamonds in order to sell to this guy in one batch. And what happened is that at that moment, diamonds were worth about, I think maybe pink diamonds were worth around 22,000 or something a carat. And this gentleman who wanted to fill the order was offering almost double that. So what these guys did was like, if you can invest, if you can do this, if you can buy in about a month, you're going to be able to almost double your money. So in the moment, I kind of thought, well, no, I can't invest 100,000. I don't have that. But then I thought, wait, if I can do this, I will be able to get the goal. This is the opportunity. I've said what I wanted. It's been presented to me, but I still had to take action. It didn't just fall in my lap. It wasn't difficult. I just had happened to kind of have a whole bunch of credit lined up for my automated Amazon store that I was preparing for. So I said, okay, if I move this here and I do this here and I shuffle things around a little bit, I can come up with $100,000 of capital, not my own money. It wasn't $100,000 I had sitting in the bank. And I used that to purchase $100,000 worth of pink. In a month, that doubled. And he actually gave a little bit more because it took a little bit longer than what they had originally thought. Then my dealer took that, bought one green diamond, and then had it certified and got me actually another 50% on that. And so in a matter of 2 months, I had 150% return on my investment. And that's how I manifested more than $100,000. Sometimes even it's like the universe is sitting there waiting to just give you more. Like, yes, here's what you want and more, but people just don't ask. People don't go, and by ask, I mean you ask and you believe it's done. You ask and you claim it as done. It's not just, please give, somebody help me, somebody save me. It's, this is what I want and I believe it and I claim it and I know it's mine. And then it's amazing how things move and shift and how stuff happens completely off your radar to bring you that which you desire. So that's how I manifested over $100,000 in a month. It took decision, it took belief and feeling it already done, and it took action. So I hope that makes sense. It helps you think about how you can apply that into your own life in manifesting your dreams and desires.